Hi, what's up guys? Masterscreed here and welcome to yet another video. In this video, we're going to be trying to get to 2000. We are currently, I think, 1980, something like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. And I think let's go E4. What rating is our opponent? 1980, we're 1985. So I think two more games will be 2000 rated. Let's go knight F3. And this type of setup, usually black decides the opening. Now, should we go for a 4-knight system or something else? Let's do Scotch. Let's just keep things simple. Let's do Scotch. We take back and then he decides what type of Scotch we get into. Okay, this one. Very weird one. Don't think we change much of our plans. Let's just go knight C3. I don't see anything we got to change here. Now bishop E2. And we can castle and just get our king out of the center. All right, the knight E5 idea I've never really seen in the Scotch, so I'm not sure what that's about. Sorry, knight F4 idea. But anyway, we don't care. And I think we can even push this and this, maybe, but really risky. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Okay. Okay, can just go knight B3. Nothing crazy. Can just go knight B3. Now, king is very suspect here in the sense that he's not really safe. So I hope I haven't made any lapse in judgment. Now, let's go bishop F4, just asking questions of this knight, and then we'll see what he's planning afterwards. Let's just put a hold to any side, any plans on the queen side. Queen E1 now comes to mind, and then possibly rook A D1. Now this position, I think we can just take. He just blundered a pawn. Takes. No, he hasn't. Sorry. Takes. The bishop takes. Okay. Let's do queen E1. Let's do queen E1. I want this rook to come to the D file. I don't want to play into his plans the whole time. Now, it's actually a good move, but can we spoil this plan? Kind of. So here we take, and then bishop F3 is the next move. In fact, we could start with this, but that does walk into queen B6, which leads to a tactic. I don't like queen B6 because it walks into a. He gets a check there, which is very dangerous. Bishop C4 was another one. I don't know why I didn't see that. Bishop C4 was another one, and bishop C4 would have been even stronger in terms of clamping down on his position. Now let's go there. We have to create chances now, no choice. And let's just push this pawn, ask questions of the queen. He's probably going to go A7. Yep. No. King. There, no. Okay. All right, let's just move the king to H1 and get rid of all these annoying shenanigans with all these shenanigans with the pawn. Now let's go H4 just to push away the knight and almost take it out of commission. Now I think finally let's start attacking. Could take with a pawn, threaten this. I think that's fine. Yeah, and then c4 next is probably really good. If he misses this, the position is basically ours for the taking. Yeah, which he does. Let's go c4. And now the queen really in a bad position. I think we'll have a really decent chance of winning now. Now he goes there, I think. Let's go queen e3. I feel like if we just try put pressure on this, we might be fine. Yeah, which is what he walks into. And my other idea was this. Yeah, now it's time for this. Let's go. Threatening this in the next move. Now, again, it's important to note our king is super weak. So whatever we're planning here, it has to work. Otherwise, we're basically toast. And I don't want to be toast. Let's go here. No. Not going to work. Might work. So what should we do on my days? Yeah, I mean, I think quickest way is, if I'm not mistaken, queen g3. And then queen h4. Yeah, queen h4. Don't know if I'm missing anything here. No, you can't trap the queen. Okay, let's just go in. No. Okay. Obviously, now we have to stop this pawn. Players at this level, they are really good at finding pass pawn ideas, like really good at it. So you've really got to be mindful of these types of sequences. I think we're fine. Our queen is not necessarily trapped. Now we need to find a way to include the knight into the game because it's not doing anything. And I think, oh my god, I think he blundered. Yeah, I think he blundered. And we have to start with this, and I'll explain this move in a second. It's a clearing move for bishop to d5, which I think he missed check. Okay, now he has to sacrifice a piece. He has no option there. So we'll just keep winning material. Let's take. Yeah, he made a huge mistake there. Allowing me to get that diagonal was a huge mistake. Now, unless I'm missing something, no. I could just keep going. And now, okay, he just blundered mate, if I'm not mistaken. Just blundered mate now. Yeah, I think we're completely winning off this. He goes for a check. We could just block with this rook. If we block with the F rook, he gets another annoying check on D1. Okay, he's done well to actually get away from these attacks. Still, though, we go for check, and I think we're still winning. Check him again. He moves, we check on G7, and I think we're winning. Check. Now it's just about including every piece we can into the attack. Let's take the rook, obviously. And he can resign. So let's see how he manages this position. Queen, I feel like that's a blunder. We could just take and convert, or what do you guys think? Check. Okay, I think there's a tactic here. Let me calculate. Check. He blocks the queen. Takes. check, and I think that's a winning line. Yeah, let's try this. This is the one that looks most interesting. He has to block with the queen. We take. He lands on a checking square. And now it's just about converting. The side he chooses to move his king to is really important because that chooses whether we get a queen or not. And now we're winning. I don't mind if you take the rook. No problemo. And let's go here. Let's check him again. It's a good move. He is fighting back. Let's go here. And let's put an end to those dreams that he had. Check. I think we have mate very soon. Just needs to be very creative, I guess. Now there, and I want to come up with a really nice mate like there. No, that's a boring mate. But look, let's not complicate it. We can just take it. It doesn't do anything. Now we take, and let's just end the game. Okay, it doesn't take. Interesting. I mouse slipped queen e4, by the way. I was supposed to go for a fancy check. Now let's go here. Let's not messing around. Again, we shouldn't be taking this long to checkmate, but that's just how bad I can be at chess sometimes. Let's take this pawn. If we want, we can even just promote this guy. But I don't want to do that. Let's keep things simple. Takes. All right, and he resigns. Now, very quickly, let me open up chesses and let's see what we done well in that game. Then I'll do one more game. Hopefully we'll hit 2,000 and then I'll let you guys carry on with whatever you were doing before watching this video. You're probably watching cat videos or something. I don't know. What do people watch on YouTube nowadays? I show speed. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. This always takes forever to open up. All right, while it's loading, let's just look at this from. Let's just look at the game from here. All right, so e4, e5, knight f3, d4, and we get into a Scotch. Now, there's many variations. This is the weirdest one I've seen. The main line usually is bishop c5, and the whole concentration of the next couple of moves is based on those. Is based on this d4 square. Bishop c5, bishop e3, and here there's a blunder that that can be played. If let's say he goes for this, which looks like a good move, the bishop here is undefended, so there's a trap. Takes. Okay, got it. No worries. We'll try again later. So there's a trap here. Takes, and you win a bishop. And the reason why he has to take the knight is because the bishop is hanging and the knight hits the queen. So if he tries to save the bishop, then you win the queen. So that's a very common trap here. So the best move, just 1 second, the best move after, so let's carry on, sorry. Best move after this, for black anyway, either queen f6 or d3, sorry, d6. D6 gives you tripled pawns last I checked. So you hit the queen again, he has to take with this, you take back the bishop, and black gets tripled pawns. That's what I remember. So the d6 line, not good for black. The other option, I think, in this position is queen f6, which makes sense. And now this tactic doesn't work because you're not hitting the queen. So therefore, they could actually even start with this straight away. And let's say you take, they take back, and they have a better structure than you. You have 2 doubled pawns in the middle and 3 islands, whereas they have 2 islands. So their position is much better. So what you're supposed to do in this line, after he goes for, sorry, let's rewind. How many lines have I even wrote up? The queen of 6 line continues c3, knight b d7. Sorry, I always get that on autopilot. Knight g e7, then bishop c4. And now this is not possible. So usually here they castle or they play d6. I think d6 is fine, but that might also lead to tripled pawns. But usually I think here castling is the best move. I don't have the engine on, so I'm not sure. And where's Google Play? No, there's no Google Play. All right. Those are the variations of the Scotch that I'm used to. A couple more, but I'll take kind of too long. I'll have to do like a whole video on it, but that's the most common mainline variation. So I feel like this knight idea was already losing. And after we get the f4 push early on, we already have the advantage. Now, I took a big gamble here because I was betting on the fact that we're going to get this f6 square and open up lines to the king. But had this plan failed, you have to realize chess is a zero-sum game. You have to come up with plans that can potentially end the game for your opponent with the understanding that you could potentially be winning. You could potentially be ending the game for yourself in the process if things go wrong. So it was a gamble, but the gamble paid off. And that should show you, especially if you're a beginner. I always used to be afraid of taking risks. You got to take risks in chess if you want to get good progress. A5, sort of asking the queen some questions. And here you got to be prophylactic. That just means you got to think of defending first before attacking and get your king to safety. And now the queen looks very awkward on a7. And it's just staring into a c5 pawn. Once we had that problem sorted out, it was just about staying solid and finding the right time to attract and try to penetrate our opponent's position. So here, the moment the pawn got to g6, I knew we were already winning, and it was just a matter of time. We had to find a way to exploit the h file. Once we get our queen here, it's technically checkmate, but we need to get rid of this knight somehow. So we centralized our rooks, and this is the idea I want to sort of explain. This is the game-winning idea. Our bishop wants to land on, sorry for hitting the mic. Our bishop wants to land on, I want to paint it in blue. Our bishop just looks better in blue. Our bishop looks better on, it wants to land on d5. So the moment he played the move e3, this automatically gives us a tactic because we played d6, which hits the queen, and he has to move. And then we go for this forcing check. And in that position, if he goes king h8, sorry, we have queen h5. He blocks with a knight, and then we have checkmate in one. So he had to sacrifice the bishop. He had to do what he did. And now we take, and I think here we're just completely winning. And yeah, I've done this sequence almost 100 times. And yeah, we're just messing around here, kind of messing around. I really didn't know how to checkmate him, but it was all white from this position. Now, one more game. Let's see. And then I gotta go. We have white again. Getting so many people from Poland. What's this guy's rating? 2014. Okay, so in order for us to get to 2000, you got to beat a 2000. So let's see what opening he chooses. Should we go Scotch again? Let's try Scotch and let's see how well he knows it. Now, will he go for the exchange or will he go bishop c5? Okay. Goes for the boring exchange. d6. Now we go there. So he basically concedes the center. Now I think the move is this. Or, okay. Let's start with bishop d2. Let's start with bishop d2. Now we castle. Let's start with bishop d2, and I'll know what to do after. Now f3, g4. He's gonna castle kingside, and the moment this happens, it will be a race to see who can get to the other person's king first. Now, let's start with g4 straight away, and then hopefully we can get to h4 and just start pushing. Okay, which is what he does. Now, by the way, it looks like we're blundering a pawn here, but it's actually not a bad idea because we do open the h file. So this is a trick, and he seems to know how to play against it. Now, question is, how do we proceed? Okay. Let's proceed with patience. Let's go bishop e2, get everything involved, and then we can start our launch of pawns. Now we are behind by a pawn, but no biggie. No problemo. We'll find a way to come back. He takes, okay. We could take here. Or should we take with a queen? Let's take with a bishop. Let's take with a bishop. I want to maintain pressure on this d file. And now, do we go for this? Yeah, I think so. But first, let's bring our other rook to x-ray the king. And always remember, no matter how many pieces are in between the x-ray, it's always, always dangerous. Now let's go here. And now we just got to start pushing. Okay. Not sure what that does. Now let's just move the queen. Give him a free bishop, but in return we get checkmate. Let's see if he falls for it though. He's a 2000. He's probably not going to fall for this. Yep, he is good. Now, am I missing something? Is there a tactic here? By the way, this structure is good for us, and I'm going to show you in a second how to go after what we call a hook, and that's this square. We target this square now, but first I got to deal with this problem. Let's not forget that our precious piece is hanging. Now, the move that comes to mind is bishop c4 check. Bishop takes, queen takes. The king has to move to the h file, and now we have ideas of opening the h file. Once we do that, we win the game. We open the h file, we win the game. We open the h file, we win the game. And there's just too much pressure now. Too much pressure from the bishop. The queen obviously has control of the light squared diagonal. c4 to g8. And also, the rooks are in complete control of the other open lines. So he's going to need a huge miracle here to pull anything off here. Okay, c3. It looks like a really good move, actually. Could take, he takes, I guess. Or should we take this way? He's defending really well. I could go with that. The knight is trapped. Yeah, the knight is trapped. I'm just trying to see, is there like a huge benefit to winning the knight? Yeah, let's just take the knight. Let's just take the knight. Let's just take the knight. Capturing either of the pawns, I don't think would have yielded any benefits. So let's just keep things simple for now. He goes there. Okay. Takes. Okay. Let's take and then go queen d3. Take queen d3. And we're fine. We don't want this to be overloading our bishop. I think we're fine now. And because of the pawn on, yeah, the knight is still trapped. Now he cannot take with this pawn because we'll have mate in one. There'll be a pin, and he missed it. Well, not mate in one, but he missed the check. The problem though is, oh no, the queen is not on the c file. My mind is thinking queen is on the c file. He can't take the pawn because of this. Now we go here, and this looks like it's completely winning. I don't see how he can come back from this position. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, here we just check, and let's just make sure he doesn't escape. And I think, is this mate? No, we have check. He can block on f6 with a queen. And believe it or not, I've got to take. Yeah, okay, he resigns. There, I think I had to take with a bishop. I'm not sure. Had a lot of miswins. He wants a rematch, but unfortunately, I don't have time. Now, 1 second. Let's open chesses, and let's hope this time chesses works. I prefer analyzing on chesses more than chess.com. I don't know why. And let's see where he went wrong. So yeah, we're finally 2000. And let's hope we stay there. We always fluctuate 2000, 1900, 2000, 1900. Let's hope this time we actually stay as 2000s. Okay, so guys, for those of you who are waiting, this is taking longer than expected. Let me just check, was the recording equipment actually recording everything? I've had some videos where like I'll forget to press the recording and they won't record anything. Now, very quickly, let's, I haven't even copied the PGN, come on. Let's go there. And let's see how we done. Our accuracy is probably not that good. I had a feeling because we're playing very aggressive and tactical, I don't think our accuracy is, okay, 82%. Bad by my standards, honestly. I always try to aim for 90. Now let's see what we done well. Knight f3, book move. And he went for the exchange, which, as the computer indicates, probably not the best move. Now, one trick I've learned in this position is this. If they go, excuse me, I don't know what that was, guys. Must be a frog in my stomach. I don't know what that was. Excuse me. If he goes there, I think bishop e3 is a move. And I learned this in the Scandinavian, the version of the Scandinavian where you play the modern and then there's a queen. There's like a queen trade offer. I'll explain that. So let me rewind. Actually, I think I can show that without interfering with the syntax. So in the modern Scandinavian, d5 he takes. So here you takes. Yeah, it's this variation. If he goes queen f3, which is technically like a symmetrical of what we've just seen on the board, do not take, because you have to understand you're helping your opponent develop faster. So instead, what you have to do is you have to play bishop e6. And what this does is, why did the engine not rate that move? Just because it's smart. If he now takes, what happens now is that he gives you more active play. And black is slightly better in the opening. And here your plan is straightforward. Develop probably castle queenside. I don't know what the arrow's going. And you are fine now. If I was to go back to this position, sorry, why am I back on chess.com? All right, now back in this position, let's go to the original syntax, which is, now let's play on from here. Takes, let's switch. If he had done that, we would have done exactly what I explained. Now, this is the type of Philidor where basically black concedes the center. So what you do is castle queenside and prepare a storm as fast as possible. And because we have the head start in the storm, we had a better advantage. Now, I want to explain this move. If you're a beginner or an intermediate player and you're looking for winning ideas, when you're analyzing or when you're listening to coaches analyze, one of the things you've got to do, you've got to learn to find these weird high-level moves that don't seem to make sense right now. I actually learned this from Daniel Naroditsky. So I was confused when I first saw this type of move. What does it do? Because black has what's called a Reti battery. The reti battery is basically, it consists of the queen and the bishop being on the same diagonal, putting pressure at a specific square or point on the board. I think that's the right definition. You might want to check with ChatGPT, since no one uses Google anymore. Now, you might say, isn't that just a free pawn? And yes, rook cannot take. Obviously, the queen will take, and it will be disastrous for white. Disastrous. I can't even say that word. But you got to understand, that has now created the H file threat. The H file has now opened up, and you can see, if I was to fast forward very quickly, we're on move 12. Let's just fast forward to the position we had. This became a huge problem for black. Just that one pawn sacrifice in the beginning. So let's go back to move 12. Chess is a game where whatever actions you do in the opening have long-standing consequences in the end game. So you got to be really careful. Now, I had a dilemma here. I wanted to take with the queen, because I was calculating some sacrifices on h6 with the bishop. But I figured, if I go for queen, he'll probably offer a queen trade. And in that position, we're not in a position to block it with the bishop. Our bishop is on d2, so that wouldn't have been possible. So taking with the bishop here made more sense. Now we bring our rook in. Looks like it's not really doing anything, but you'll see later on that it is. Now we slowly advance. Now this looks like a free piece, but you gotta keep in mind there's checkmate in the next move. Had he gone queen to f6, I would have just gone back to e3. And that would be the threat of the queen being captured, as well as the bishop on a6. Now, that's a blunder. Okay. Oh my god, I missed a tactic. Okay. There's two types of blunders. The first type of blunder is when you lose material for no reason, like you miss a tactic and then it's catastrophic and you lose material. The second type of blunder is when you miss a tactic. And here, if I had just taken a second to use my brain, takes, rook takes, and the rook lands on the same colored square as the king, and that loses straight away to a fork. And I missed that line. So I was too focused on the king, and I wasn't really visualizing the whole chessboard. And when you do that, you can miss pretty important tactics. And now we attack this hooking square, and I hope I made the right decision here. So the computer says the best move was to take the H pawn, but I feel like that just closes. It just closes black's ideas. Sorry, white's ideas. What does the engine say about G6? Let me turn it on. Now it's saying it's an inaccuracy. First it said it's a mistake. Now it's saying it's an inaccuracy. Let it think. Yeah, okay. Inaccuracy. We're still definitely ahead. And the reason why here I didn't take the C pawn is because I was fearful of rook C8, which really activates the rook and X-rays our king. Not something I want to do. So we took back, and then queen back to D3 is a decent move. The computer's confused about this move. Good move, mistake. Sorry, inaccuracy. Bit more time to think. Good move. Inaccuracy. Okay. Let's not rely on the engine for that move. The knight had nowhere to go. We just take. And here you should see that there's a pin. So the pawn cannot take. But remember the H pawn sacrifice made all of this possible. Now we take, he moves, we check him. Yeah, and he can resign it because literally it's going to be mate in the next couple of moves. And that is how effective the Scotch can be at high level games. I think I need to do a deeper dive on the Scotch. I'm due to study it more at length soon. So when I do that, I'll probably have a much clearer manual of how to use it in your games. Now, that being said, thank you guys for watching, and let's just check. Are we 2000 or was I hallucinating? Why is it taking forever to load? I'm not sure. Come on, quickly. Why is loading my homepage taking this long? Yeah, 2001 Rapid. Let's try get to like 2100 in the next couple of weeks. Now, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed and hope you learned a thing or two about the Scotch and how to use it against high level opponents. That being said, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.